Hi, good evening. Please, what's your name?
Good evening. My name is Joseph Ovie.
All right, I would love to ask you some few questions. Are you in?
No problem.
Okay, the first question goes like this. If federal government was to enforce 18-year age limits for WAEC and NECO exams, do you think this will affect anything and your reasons?
Not okay. Is a two side of a coin question actually. Now there have been cases over the past few years of people writing WAEC under the age of 18, and definitely there has been some positive and negative impact. But what one thing first I want to say is that one the positive impact here, if the 18 years old is actually a force. It will bring about mature minds coming to school. Like when something is actually matured, so there is always the tendency that the person is strong, or let's just put it in a normal layman language, person have experienced life. So that is one. Then for the other aspect, um, I don't. Sorry, I've
Since
Yes, it's actually unfair because some students actually are not up to 18 and they are intelligent and they're actually up to the like SS3. So they might, if they bring up that rule, it will affect their academics life, and maybe if they are serious at that moment and they have to wait for some years again before they can write, it might drop down their energy to study more. So it's preferable for the government to allow students to just write at any age they want, because actually if we are born at least I think it's like 3 years old before we can start KG or kindergarten. So from that time, there's a probability that we can actually meet up SS3 at 17 or 16. So it's possible there's not supposed to be an issue about the age matter. So we can actually write at that time. So if they bring that law, it will affect a lot of students.
To some extent, yes. Okay. The school who has students in it in senior secondary school like SS3, probably the least age there is 16 years. The person might be unable to register for one time. So, and again, to government to some certain extent, like government universities won't be able to accept such students to their institution, well, and at the same time losing that same money.
I don't think it will affect anything basically. I think it's even good. It's favorable to the people that are 16-year-old. So when they finish from secondary school, they can at least learn a trade or something before entering school. Not just rushing into the university because university life is hard. So I don't think it's favorable to 16-year-olds. When they're through with their WAEC or when they're through their SSC, their senior school exams, they should go and learn a trade for like 2 years or something. So that they'll know that when they're entering the university, they have a trade that they can use to sustain their selves when they're in university.
Yes, it would affect anything and most things, especially on the children, both negatively and positively. So the negative aspect is on these children, okay, when they have to probably they finish secondary school at the age of 15 and they have to wait for 3 years before they have to get to the university. So it's going to create this kind of emotional or mental stress for them when they see maybe their friends are already in school and they are still at home waiting for WAEC and the rest. So I feel that is going to affect them in a very negative way.
all right, what's your opinion?
Okay, I feel it will affect them positively and both negatively. But in the negative, positive aspect, um, if they are focused and their parents are willing, so they'll be able to have this skill acquisition. They'll be able to focus on making on their skills and like making hair and everything. So like when they come to school, it will not be a problem for them financially because this school actually normally is work. So it will not be a stress for them to have finances without calling their parents for one or two. Normally they are supposed to call their parents, you understand? But for them to just like every time calling their parents, it will not be necessary because they know that yes, I have something I'm doing that can work for me, that can work out for me. Yeah.
What advice do you have for any jambite who is anxious to get into school?
Okay. One thing you have to notice that when you are getting into school, you should not be in a rush, because when you get into school, it's a different world entirely. It's another life. There's nobody to guide you, but you just have to have that morals that you brought from home into school. There's nobody to tell you on how to when to read and all of that. So when you reach here, what you go tell you that?
Okay, for all JAMB, I think they have to seek advice from those that have written JAMB before and go to lectures. I know there are some students that are actually good with academics. They don't need to go to lecture. They just need to just go through their books and study with what they've learned from secondary school. But there are students that whereby they need to actually gain more understanding of what they've been taught before. So they need to go back to a lecture house that will make them broaden their knowledge about it and also go through past questions that will also like make them understand the kind of questions that are set and how they can answer them and the area to focus on. So that is just my advice for them. That can help them go to get through the jam.
Life hard. Don't be anxious. Just take it's a gradual process. All the clothes. Just
First of all, it is not what you will expect. Life is hard. University life is very hard, but you will survive. And remember, education is not always the way. Thank you.
I have a lot of advice for them. First is that you should not be so anxious about the jam. Pertaining to their registration, they should be so careful in putting down their details because now JAMB has made an official statement that any mistake made in JAMB, they cannot um, reverse any kind of mistake. So they should be very careful while registering and they should not be so anxious about the exam.
All right, thank you. So, what's your opinion?
Okay, I feel they should be focused. I advise them to be focused on their exam because if they are focused on this main one. They get inside school, it will not be a problem for them to be focused on life and everything because they are focused when they are outside school. They are focused just coming to school. It will not just be an issue and order.